What's up, guys? Thank you all so much for clicking on today's video. Welcome back to SRP. I'm Steve. I'm with my good friend AJ from AG Reptiles. Today we have a special video for you guys. It's going to be a fun one. We're making a trip. We made a trip over to Florida. We're going to be seeing a special guest. If you're big into the reptile world, you definitely know this guy. If you don't, you're living under a rock. We're currently en route to go see him. Super excited. Can't wait. It's going to be freaking awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next clip. Where we're headed. Give you a little hint. We're at Fort Pierce. And we'll see you when we get there.
That was like 12, 13 feet that I was supposed to rescue, but then the gator ended up not coming here. And then I was offered up these two crocs, and then I put them in here, and then I got another croc, and of course all the small stuff I've been raising over the years. Cool. But now that I finished my 8-foot fence around the whole property, I can start making like half-acre to acre-size exhibits for all the crocs throughout the property. And this is almost 11 acres.
You live here too?
Yeah, I live right in this house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'd rather live on property. Make sure all the animals are good. For FWC, you gotta have two fences. Perimeter fence for security, you can leave it open. And the actual exhibit fencing. So now that the 8-foot fence is around the whole property, I can, make bigger exhibits, make more exhibits, can make it awesome. This is Nadia. She's a Siamese crocodile, critically endangered from Asia. These guys, there's only like 1,500 out in the wild. They're found in Thailand, they're found in Cambodia, a couple other countries, but they're only found in fragmented habitats. So you find like little pockets where there's like maybe a dozen or so or less than that. There's certain spots in Thailand where there's only like 3 to 5 individuals in a park in a certain little lagoon area. And if you guys try to go see the crocs without permission from the rangers, and you're not a scientist, they will greet you with automatic weapons. They take it super seriously because poaching is very high up there. Even for like illegal tree cutting, like going into the protected areas and chopping down big trees. Yeah. If they catch you out there and you're not supposed to be out there, they literally will shoot at you. And if it's nighttime and they see headlamps, they'll shoot at the light. Wow. So, yeah, you definitely got to work with the governments when you travel around.
Have you
and not just try to go see them.
Have you saw them in their natural environment, or?
I went to go look for them, but I wasn't able to find any because the spot I was in only had like. Basically, what had happened was the 4 female Cuban crocs were with the big male Nile crocodile sultan that's at Gatorland back in the day, and they mated, and that's where Aries came from. So he's half Cuban crocodile, half Nile croc.
Whoa!
2 species that would have never.
That's
met
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. But
is that like frowned upon in like the croc?
Well, I mean,
it's like people don't recommend.
Like it, for the most part, because the crocodile that he's hybridized with is Cuban crocodile. It's one of the most endangered crocs in the world. And even in the wild, they're losing genetic diversity. They only come from the Zapata swamp of Cuba, and they're being poached out there, but also there's a man-made canal from the coast of Cuba going inland to the Zapata swamp, introducing American crocs that are native on the coast to the Cuban crocs inland, and they're making hybrids. So basically, now we're losing genetic diversity of the crocs in the wild, and if you keep making hybrids in captivity, you lose the diversity in captivity. And it's so important because Cuban crocodiles, they gallop. They're the only crocs that truly gallop consistently. Some crocs will get scared, jump into water, and gallop a little bit, like a freshwater croc, maybe an Orinoco gallop a little bit. But a Cuban croc will legit gallop around the whole exhibit on the land, and you can YouTube videos of people getting chased around the exhibits by them. So they're very athletic, probably the most athletic crocodile that currently exists, that's not extinct. They can jump 6.5 feet plus in the air. They have curved teeth like a velociraptor, which most crocs don't have curved teeth. Sometimes they have like 1 or 2 teeth that kind of curve. Yeah. But basically, they're the only crocodiles with truly curved teeth like a velociraptor.
Cool.
That's a big part of the problem with the hybrid, though, because the Nile crocodile has straight teeth. Cuban crocs have curved. So he's been struggling his whole life, having different teeth grow in different directions, different sizes. To the point where, like, a couple months ago, he had a tooth. Like, pretend I'm the croc. Or this is the croc's face. He had a tooth literally growing out to the side like that, and it was loose, and I had to take tweezers and pull him out for him so he wouldn't be uncomfortable. Shit. And right now, this is his jaws. If you open his mouth, he's got the outer row, the front row right there. On the inside of his jaw, right about here, there's a tooth forming and coming out. So it's just different shapes.
It's not supposed to naturally happen
an African
that
croc
way.
and a Cuban croc were never supposed to meet, but they're happy, so that's fine.
Okay.
They've bred in the past, and their babies are 75% Cuban. Still not good for conservation, but
yeah,
they're very beautiful. And before I owned them, the babies were put out to different places. My buddy was actually lucky enough to get one of the babies. Its name's Carnage. It's like this big, super yellow, pretty crocodile. I have one egg in the incubator that might hatch from them.
I hope it does.
Season. But if not, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I feel bad to separate them because crocodiles do love each other when they get
really?
Yeah, they're very affectionate. They love each other. I feel bad about it, but I probably will end up separating them because she's genetically a perfect Cuban croc, and I want her to continue her genetics and her bloodline. Because it's all about conservation. We're trying to breed the most endangered crocs in the world here. You guys want to hold a crocodile?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Got some alligators over here. These were seized by FWC in somebody's house.
Wow.
Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, they're arrested by the cops.
That's all.
Then we got some Indian spotted turtles. These guys over here are nocturnal. We're just gonna skip these guys. We got Ziggy hanging out. You know Ziggy? Ziggy's the American crocodile. First crocodile I got with my license of that. That's a tiny hatchling.
Oh wow.
She's a bad mamma jamma. Probably sometime the middle of next month or so, we're gonna move her out to her new enclosure. I'm gonna be getting a bunch of 1,100 gallon tubs, and we're gonna be burying them in the back area for grow out enclosures. So like, these are for like hatchlings, for animals that are like around 6 inches to 2 feet. But once they get a little bit too big for these areas, I want to bump them out to bigger areas. So I'm going to be getting a bunch of 1,100 gallon tubs, fencing in palm trees and grass for a lot of land space, and then they'll have the 1,100 gallons to swim around. And that'll be for her. I'll do another one for the Salty, for the Siamese. I'll do one for the Broad Snouts, the Cuvier's Dwarf Caimans, and eventually they'll get real enclosures that are natural bottom like this.
Yeah.
But it's good to use the tubs for small stuff because they dig so much, you know? You don't want them digging trenches and whatnot towards the fencing, especially if they're exhibits for grow outs and they're not that big with not a lot of land space.
Yeah.
So it's just good for now.
I feel like I see this set up a lot on YouTube. Like,
my setup or what?
Like something similar to this. Like I feel like Tyler Nolan had something like something.
Maybe. I mean, these are just tubs I've been using for years, and my buddy helped me make these tops, this design, and it works.
It works.
It looks good. We stained it. It's pretty.
Yeah, it looks great.
Some other people like the idea, so they just look at this and they copy the same thing.
They're definitely copying it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's about security of the animals.
That's right.
And keeping the animals safe from raccoons and birds of prey. So hey, if you're keeping a crocodilian and you want to do it the same way, go ahead, do it the same way. I'm not the first person to invent a top, you know. It's not that big of a deal. That's my saltwater crocodile. So this is the biggest reptile in the world. They can get upwards to 21 feet long. The record's 21 foot.
Wow.
On average, males get 15 to 18 feet, and this is a confirmed male. I've seen his willy more times than I can count. Yeah. And usually I'm not too excited for stuff like that, but it's a big deal when it's a male saltwater croc, and it's gonna get that big. It's gonna be the mascot. There you go. Look at that. He's getting big. Eventually, he's gonna be like right now. He's still under 4 feet, but eventually we're gonna have to stop using him for the interactions.
Yeah, he's gonna be too big.
Pretty sure they're supposed to be under 4 feet when people are handling them.
Insane.
But yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Usually people let you hold a gator, and I didn't want to be like every facility. I wanted to let you guys hold a saltwater crocodile, because these guys will grow the biggest of all the reptiles. So if you get a photo with him now, you can compare the photo to 5 years from now when he's 13, 15 feet. And what I do with the tape is I do sticky side up. The whole point of that is so it doesn't stick to their sensory organs on their face. They have all these little freckles on their face that it's basically like a sonar, and it helps detect pressure. So just be nicer to them. Look at this guy sneaking up. I've known that croc since I was 13 years old, and that's a big reason why he's here. He has sentimental value.
Wow.
He was one of the first crocs I worked with as a little kid.
Wow.
And he was in my alligator wrestling pit when I used to volunteer on the Native American reservation. So he was like 7 foot, and we would have to go get a gator and pull it out of this concrete pool, and he would be in there snapping at us. My mentor would be like, before you get the alligator, show him what the croc's all about. I'm like, okay. I'm like 13, 14 years old, and I walk over with a little like banana leaf or whatever stick, and I gently touch its snout, and it goes, whoa, and the stick goes flying. I'm like, okay, that's a crocodile. I don't know what you want me to do now. I'm gonna go get the gator. Because a gator and a croc are two different stories. Every individual has their own personality, but at the end of the day, the croc is a true athlete. They're more athletic, they're more cantankerous, and they're able to do things that the gators typically won't do. They got more tenacity. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're all different. I've met gators that act like crocs, so it's really all on the individual's personality.
Interesting. They're like such an interesting animal, just like laying there, but then if you're like super close up to it, it'll probably freaking attack you.
Maybe not right now because he's fat, he's full of chicken, he's bloated. Yeah. But yeah, if he was hungry, he would go for your legs. He goes for my legs. I don't trust him. He's a crocodile. You can't get too comfortable. Because if they have a bad day, they'll let you know. Yeah, that's right. So you don't want to get too comfortable with them.
Steve, you want to hold?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta hold them.
Can I fish breed on their own? Yeah.
They can. That's why this is a landlocked
fish in here.
What's that one?
That's a red-tailed catfish. Pure red-tailed catfish, and they get over 6 feet long. Wow. The middle one is a tiger shovel-nosed red-tailed catfish hybrid, which naturally happens in the wild, but also they breed them like that in captivity. And then these two right here close to the dock are a Cara catfish tiger shovel-nosed hybrid. Cara? You know, I didn't know about any of this stuff. I just knew about red-tails and pacu and stuff like arapaima. But over time you start to learn everything. Just like snakes. Like at one point I didn't know anything about snakes.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you at a point where you're like, you know, like the science, like you're probably speaking in like scientific terms, like name wise and everything?
So for some reptiles, but with fish I'm still learning so much. The same thing for plants. And it's like there are people who are total experts on plants and they can tell you every scientific name of every plant out there. I can't do that. But I can tell you about some reptiles.
Nice.
Her handled her whole life, so we named her Renee after her. And this is, I thought it was a cobra skin. I think this is the Papuan black snake. No, yeah, I think this is the Papuan black snake. You can see its whole head. Wow. You want it?
I'll take it.
There you go.
Sick.
Happy. Yeah, you guys want me to get a photo of all you guys together?
Yeah.
She looks beautiful, just came out of shed.